You know, it's kind of funny. I didn't really aspire to be a CEO. In fact, most of the people that know me outside of work are surprised when they find out that that is what I do for a living. I think part of it's because most people that want to be a CEO are really attracted to the money or the power, and that's not what really drew me there. What drew me to being a CEO is actually watching other people do it badly, working within a company and just seeing the mistakes that they made and the negative impact it had on employees and on their customers. And so what I really wanted to do was find a way to lead a company in a way that would make people become more of what they can be instead of really less of what they already are. And I thought that doing that wouldn't be just a happy place to work, but would actually be a more effective place to work, a place where your results would be superior. You know, that was why I started, and I'll tell you, the first steps along the pathway had plenty of bumps. I think, you know, initially perhaps I was worse at it than even the people that I was critical of. But you know, every single day, every single time I learn new things, make mistakes, have successes, I'm really beginning to fill out that vision that drove me here. And most importantly, I just absolutely love what I do every single day. You know, early on in my career, I really looked at Bill Gates. You know, people look at the end of Microsoft and don't remember the beginning. It was a scrappy little company, CEO that was flying in the back of the plane all the time, you know, going on red eyes so he could sleep on the chairs, but always being fiercely competitive. Going from a compiler to an operating system to a suite of applications to a server company to an enterprise company, very focused, very determined, and very driven to succeed. And then you look at what Gates did afterwards. He took that same energy to giving and making the world a better place. So early on, Bill Gates really drove what I thought of as the quintessential executive. And now I really turn my attention to this generation, to Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg. You know, if you look at Facebook, not only are they unbelievably successful, but inside the culture and the people, with all of what they've accomplished, have a level of humility and willingness to engage and really to be in it not only for their success, but for their partners and their customers. And boy, they're just crushing it. So it's really those people that I most turn my attention to. Yeah, you know, I talk, maybe a bit too much sometimes, but why I do that is because what I try to do with people is find out what it is that they need most to be successful, either by helping them arrive at that or by showing them that. And once we can agree on what they need to be successful, then it's my role to eliminate and knock down all the barriers between them and that success. You know, a lot of leaders, if you think about a team as a wheel, want to be the center of that wheel. That's not what I aspire to be at all. Instead, I want the wheel to be able to roll without me, and my job is ultimately to help it roll faster and more effectively. I'd start out with every day. Every day you have to feel as if you're earning your job. You know, I feel that way when I come to work every day at MomentFeed, that I have to do and be the things that make me the CEO of our company. Also, I have to recognize that those things are changing as we grow, as the company becomes larger, as our products become more complicated, as our partners become broader. The complexity of what we do changes, and I have to adapt each and every day, each and every month, each and every year to how our company is growing. And I have to also be willing to hear from other people when I'm not doing that, and I need other people to have the courage to be able to tell each other when they're not doing that, so that we can really be able to evolve and grow. And if we can't, we have to be willing to step aside and let somebody else do it. And so I'd say it's about earning your job every day. That's probably the core to my management principles. Change is constant, but you can't have a company in constant chaos. So what you have to do is you have to define what is at least consistent. And we always look to that through the lens of eras. So, you know, there's an era of early stage initiative, there's product market fit, there's scaling, there's growth and expansion. And what you need to do is be in one moment of certainty at a time, When you're in product market fit, that's a moment of certainty. And change is happening constantly as you move towards that next phase, which is really scaling. And when you approach and get to that next stage, you need to very, very clearly demark that new stage of knowledge, that new state of confidence around and certainty around the new era. So change, it's constant. You're always adapting, but you can't let chaos reign, and you need to define it through the eras that the company goes through. I'd say there's really two things. Clearly, it's about learning. We have to be lifelong learners. We have to show up with a level of curiosity to find out what's new about the day and to learn and adapt to that. That's one piece. The second piece is ask. Ask for what you most want, whether it's your manager or whether it's your partner, whether it's the universe itself, and be as specific as possible. Because if you don't really define what you want, the probability that you'll get it is very, very low. So learn and ask. Yeah, it's got to really start with my family. I had my children relatively late, didn't have my first kids until I was about 41. And it was interesting watching other executives who had families say to me, look, Robert, you have to understand it's really all about the family. And to be honest with you, I didn't necessarily understand or agree with them. But now that I have my own, it's really what it's about. I have 3 great girls, 2 that are 16, 1 that's 14, a real hard-charging wife. They're interesting and fascinating, and that's a huge passion for me, is my family. Other than that, I'm a pretty focused guy, so there are only a couple of other things that really draw my attention. One is certainly surfing. Love to get in the water 3-4 days a week. It's a great way to clear my head. It's a great way to be in a place where maybe I can think different thoughts about myself, about work, anything that comes to mind for me. Next would be yoga. I've been doing it for 35 years now. I do my own personal practice, don't go to a yoga studio. That's what lets me do it almost every day. And then lastly, the Warriors. How could you not have a passion for those guys? I'm determined. The one thing that I've really learned is you take your heart and your energy and your intellect and you apply it. Doesn't mean you're going to win. It may mean that you're going to learn. And by the way, you may fail. And failing is not something to be taken lightly. When you fail, you sure better have wished that you were going to succeed and thought that you were going to succeed. Because without the pain that really should come with failure, you will not be forced to adapt. But it's not about falling down, it's about getting up. And I do over and over and over again. So I'd say it's determined. Our biggest opportunity is to be the best company any of us have worked for and to be the best partner that any of our clients have ever had. And we can do that. The market is there for us. The skills and capabilities are within our walls. Really, the only thing that stops us from getting there is our own belief and our own desire to get there. And what I love about our company now is that there's not an employee that I speak to, not a person associated with the company that doesn't truly believe that we can be the best company that any of us have worked for and the best partner any of our clients have ever had. Man, I get out of bed every single day for that. I'm Robert Blatt, CEO of MomentFeed. Thanks for spending time with us today.